okay, this is going to be a different type of video for me. I figured I'm getting a lot of questions like, what games have you played? What games haven't you played? So we're just going to do a tier list ranking the best games I've never played. Now, I've taken these from different websites like Backlogged and just different Metacritic sites and things like that, where these are considered like some of the best video games and video game franchises of all time. So a few rules before we get started. There are a bunch of franchises on here. So I just chose one game from each franchise, and I either just chose the first game in the franchise, the defining game, or the one, personally, I'm most excited to play in the franchise. Like you see AC Black Flag Resync down there. I want to play all the Assassin's Creed games. I'm most excited to play Black Flag even before the remake of the new one, but that's out now, so we'll just hop right into it and get started. Let's start with Far Cry 3 right here. Far Cry is a franchise I've always wanted to play. My older brother's a big fan of them, and it's a big open world, just kind of do whatever you want type of game. Also, I know next to nothing about most of these games, and if I miss a game, let me know which ones I should add to my next ranking. But these, I think, are a good start to my gaming endeavor. But Far Cry 3 and all the Far Cry games, I do want to get to, but they're not as high on the list. And I know they're made by Ubisoft, which gets like a lot of hate, and they're all a lot of bloat and not a lot of like, it's a lot of repetition. And I just played the first Assassin's Creed, so I think just because of that, I'm gonna put that in. It's gonna go in C tier for now. I'm excited to, like, all these games, even in like D tier, I'm gonna be excited to play. But if I'm ranking them against some of the best games from like things that I've heard all the time, you know, I gotta be credible and even with my rankings. So like God of War. Okay, let's go to God of War, a game that is like linear, story only, pretty much, just like do things, do levels, do missions. It's a father-son matchup. And it seems to be like a really cool mythological solo single player title with really cool combat, which I haven't really played a game that has like an incredible combat system, like hand to hand combat system, except for the Arkham games and the Spider-Man games actually. So I guess I have, and those get me really excited for those types of games. So like God of War, it's not S tier, it's not quite S tier. There's definitely some games I want to play more, but right now it's going in A tier. It might move down to B tier, but I'm very excited to play God of War. Let's go. All right, since we mentioned it at the top of the show, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I just played the first Assassin's Creed. That video is on my channel. It is probably the worst video game I've ever played. I hated that game. Did not enjoy my time playing it. If you want to know why, just go watch that video. But I know that game's old and it has its problems, and people say that all the time. And the franchise gets better from what I understand. I haven't started AC2 yet, but the franchise gets better. I love pirates. I'm a sucker for anything pirates. This game, it just came out. I haven't watched anything on it because I don't want to be spoiled, but it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It's one of the games I'm most excited to play, and I think it's not going to be S tier, but I'm going to move it in front of God of War. So it is my most anticipated game on this list so far. Let's see, Halo. I'm actually in the middle of my Halo Reach video right now. I'm halfway through playing it, and I've started editing it a little bit. And it just didn't grasp me like I thought it would. I thought Halo, because I loved Destiny, would just suck me in, and I'd be like, this is why this franchise took off and is like the poster boy for Xbox. Like, this is unbelievable. But it didn't really happen. And I don't know if Halo Reach is like one of their better games. I'm not sure, but it didn't really like mesh with me like I thought it would, kind of like Destiny did. And honestly, this one's behind. This one's a D tier. This one's behind Far Cry, a tier below Far Cry. I'll get to it, especially with the new remake coming out. I think I'm gonna play that version, because there's no point going back and playing a game that's 20 years old when you can just play like the better version of it. So I think I'm just gonna wait for that one to come out, which is in like a few weeks at this point. But yeah, Halo, I was excited, and it knocked it down a tier playing a Halo game. But yeah, let's move on to the next game, Ghost of Tsushima. Another God of War type game. PlayStation was in their bag room this time, apparently. They had Spider-Man, which is one of my favorite games of all time. I have played that game. And God of War we mentioned earlier. Ghost of Tsushima, I'm a sucker for anything like Samurai 2, like cowboys, mafia, pirates, samurai, like that, like anything like a typical guy movie. I love that stuff. So Ghost of Tsushima, I don't think it's up there with Black Flag and God of War. Oh, I don't know, man. I've heard such good things about it. We'll stick it in B tier for now, and we'll see if we need to move it around. Either. All right, let's go from PlayStation. We've done a lot of PlayStation. Let's do Nintendo. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. My younger brother is a huge video game nerd. He's the reason why I'm kind of starting this channel, because he's always playing video games and talking about them, and I would just love to be able to talk to him with them and play with him. In fact, we're starting a co-op channel where my brother teaches me video games called Screen Peekers, so be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited for that. Breath of the Wild is his favorite video game of all time. He had it on Wii U, I think, when it came out, and then he bought it again on Switch, bought it again on his Switch too. He's a big Nintendo fan, but Breath of the Wild is his favorite video game of all time, and I remember watching him play it a little bit just at the house and was like, it's okay. It kind of seems like a worse Minecraft. So I'm excited to play it, but I'm not like super excited to play it. I also know nothing about the world of Zelda or anything, but it seems like just a dungeon fighting game. It's open world. Like, I think it's similar to Far Cry 3 actually, so it's kind of fitting. They're next to each other, similar but very different, like story wise and campaign wise, but similar concept. You're just thrown into this open world wilderness, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'd rather have, jeeps and guns and I don't know, stuff that's in Far Cry that's not in Legend of Zelda. But still excited to play it. Let's get a big one out of the way. GTA 5. I have played GTA 5 online. It's probably one of my top played games of all time. I probably have like 75 hours in that game, which for me is like puts you in the top 4 games of all time that I played. It may be number 1 actually. In middle school and high school, I played the crap out of online. Never touched the campaign, which for someone who loves these movies like Heat and old gangster movies, I don't know why. I just never did. So GTA, I'm sorry. Especially with GTA 6 coming out and all that hype, I've got to go S tier. I am super excited to dive into this story. It's Rockstar. I've played Red Dead 2. The game was a banger. GTA 5's got to be an S tier. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Uncharted 4. Another one of those like Indiana Jones type games that I'm super excited to play. This one is definitely an A tier, maybe an S tier. I think this came with my PS4 when I got my PS4, and I just never touched it. I don't know why, but I just never played it. I was too busy playing like Call of Duty and other games. So Uncharted is going to be an A tier, above God of War for sure. You know what? Above Black Flag. I think, yeah, I love Indiana Jones. I am super excited to play Uncharted 4, and I have heard phenomenal things about it. There's a lot of PlayStation games on this list. I just noticed that. All right, BioShock's down here. BioShock is my best friend's favorite game. He plays a lot of video games. Maybe Elden Ring's his favorite, but BioShock or Elden Ring are like his favorite games. But I looked like a little synopsis and like little video describing what BioShock was, because I have no idea. And it seems like a very interesting concept, but it doesn't seem like it would grasp me as much as some other games. I think it's a horror game, which I don't ever really play horror games. But like I said, I know nothing about it except for it's like underwater or something, and it seems interesting, so I'm gonna give it a shot. But it's not like up there. So I think I'm gonna go high D tier above Halo. So that's gonna hurt my friend's feelings if he's watching this, but I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of Elden Ring, we'll just do that one. Let's get this out of the way. I suck at video games. If you've watched my past videos, you know this. I've never played anything remotely close to a Souls game, like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and I'm including like Dark Souls and Sekiro and all those, the same company that made Elden Ring, all those games into Elden Ring. Never played them, never planned on playing them, but I figured it's going to be good content. Y'all are probably going to want to see me play it at some point. Am I excited to play it? Yes, and I'm excited for the challenge, but I'm not excited to play it. So I think it's got to go B tier just because I think it's going to be super interesting. And I'm very curious to see like if I like this type of game, if I'm good at this type of game, and things like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a challenge. But a game that's probably not going to be a challenge, Mafia. This is S tier. That's in front of GTA 5. Like I said, love Mafia movies. They're my favorite genre of movies. And this game looks amazing. I don't know why I've never played it. I have played Mafia 3. I played that a long time ago. Got it on like a Steam sale one summer and just sat down and played it. Didn't love it, but I heard that's like the worst of the franchise. But I'm very excited to play Mafia. It looks phenomenal. I've heard great things about it. It looks like it's right up my alley. Like if you describe me in a game, it's going to be Mafia. I hope it's good. I'm the most excited to play Mafia the Definitive Edition. Cannot wait. That video is right after Halo. It's going to be Halo, and then we're playing Mafia. So that's very soon. I'm so excited. Like that's you can just tell from me talking about it. Like I'm so giddy to get to it. Like there's no game on this list that I've been like just jumping at to play. But yeah, Mafia is going to be a banger. I'm not going to let it not be a banger. And if it's not, I'm going to be so disappointed and sad. Unlike, Mass Effect. If this game's not a banger, I'm not going to be that disappointed and sad. This one's probably going to go... We'll go in between Far Cry 3 and Zelda on C tier. I hear it's a great RPG. Never really played like big RPGs like this. I know there's 3 of them. It's a trilogy. Big Star Wars fan. I heard this kind of like space and things like that, but I don't really know what I'm getting into, and I hear it's really, really long. So like when I hear that, I go, oh, it's probably going to drag on for 80 plus hours. But I don't know. I've heard like decisions you make are crucial in the game, which I've never really played a game like that. So it's very interesting to me, interesting concept. But I'm looking for like all these games. I said I'm looking forward to them, but some more than others. And Mass Effect just doesn't have that appeal and allure to me like some of the other games on this list. Like another RPG, Fallout. I picked New Vegas. Season 2 just came out, and that was centered around New Vegas. Actually, I take it back. My buddy who said BioShock and Elden Ring is his favorite game, I know for a fact it's New Vegas. He's got New Vegas merch. He's got like keyboards in New Vegas. He loves Fallout. And I've watched the TV shows. Love the TV shows. Love the world. This one is definitely going to be an A tier. Do I go in front of Assassin's Creed? No. I'll go in front of God of War. I'll put it in front of God of War. That one's an A tier. I'm very excited to jump into the world of Fallout after watching the TV shows, because those are masterpieces. Like the TV shows are amazing. Walton Goggins, very good. I'm very excited to jump into Fallout. Another game where your decisions matter and there's multiple endings. And I don't know if there's like a canon ending that I'm going to try to go for. But if there's a certain ending I need to go for, let me know down below so I know like ahead of time going into the game. So Fallout New Vegas, another game where you make decisions that I'm very excited for, but way more excited than Mass Effect, just because like I know the world more, and it's a very interesting world. A world I know nothing about is The Last of Us. Horror game, you play as 2 people, you have guns, zombies, I think that's all I know. There's a TV show. I didn't watch the TV show. I kind of had Pedro Pascal. Was it not Sickness? I was kind of he was in everything. So I was like, oh, like I'm not watching another Pedro Pascal thing. Love The Mandalorian. Love like some other things he's in. But just never got around to watching the show. I'm not going to watch the show before I play the game because I think it's like directly taken from the game, and I want to keep that a surprise. But I'm not like super excited to play this honestly. But I'll put it in front of Halo. Why not? Actually, you know what? I'll put it. I hear it's such a good story. I'll put it in front of BioShock. But this is probably going to upset a lot of people, but it's in my D tier. So if you're just looking at this and not knowing what this list is, you're probably freaking the crap out right now. But The Last of Us has got to be in D tier. I am sorry. Next up, a world I know a little bit more about. Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Now, I had not seen Lord of the Rings movies until this year. Over Christmas break, I sat down. My dad had never seen him either. I sat down with my dad and we watched them. We watched the extended cuts too. So like we really got into it, and they were phenomenal. I don't think it's the best trilogy of all time. I don't think it's in the top 4 best trilogies of all time. That's a debate for another day. But Shadow of Mordor seems pretty cool to me. Like it's still, Lord of the Rings is still awesome and very, very, very good. So a video game in that world, the fact there's only 2 besides like Lego games is nuts. It's mind blowing. So I'm very excited for Shadow of Mordor. I hear there's a nemesis system where like orcs learn you and they come back and they recruit other orcs and they build and get better and they can like track you down. What? And I know it's not in other video games because it's like trademarked or something. That sounds awesome. This one's definitely going B tier. Probably in front of Elden Ring. Do I put it in front of Ghost? No, we'll keep it there. But I'm very excited to dive into a video game, Middle-earth. That sounds awesome. If I fall in love with the RPG games like Fallout and Mass Effect and some of these other RPGs, like open world RPGs, they need to make one in Middle-earth. Like that needs to be a thing because that would just be awesome to actually explore, because Middle-earth is so much bigger than movies. So to be able to explore that in like just an open world space would be awesome. And I guess that leads us to The Witcher, because I've heard a lot of comparisons between Middle-earth and the universe The Witcher's in, and The Witcher is that massive giant RPG where you can kind of do whatever you want. So with that being said, very excited for The Witcher. I've also heard it's like 80 hours to play the game just without the DLC, which for some people you're like, oh, you buy a game, you get 80 hours of gameplay. That's awesome. For me, I'm like, I got to play through that and then edit all that. And then like, which I know shouldn't affect all this, but like it does. Like 80 hours is a long time to get through a game. So like, that's kind of daunting. And that's like, is it going to drag at some points? I don't know. So for that reason, I think it's going to go, I don't know. I am really excited I'm really excited to dive into the game, but I don't know how excited I'm going to be to like finish the game, if that makes sense. So for that, I think it's got to go, I don't know. This and God of War are interchangeable. So would I put this here and put God of War? You know what? We'll put this here and then we'll move God of War down there and have the little PlayStation Duo right there. Tomb Raider, a trilogy, 3 games like Mass Effect. Like I said, like Indiana Jones, you see how high Uncharted 4 is on the list. They're remaking the original Tomb Raider, I think. Don't hate me if I got that wrong. But these games look really cool. I just picked them up on Steam sale for like, I think $7 for all 3 games. These games look really fun. I can't wait to dive into these. I'll probably try to play them leading up to the new game's release or the remake release to kind of like build some hype for myself for the new game. So these are probably around the corner. Very excited to get into these. Am I more so excited to get into these than Far Cry and Shadow of Mordor? Definitely more excited for Shadow of Mordor. I think I'm going to put these in front of Far Cry. I think this is going to be my first C-tier game. I think we're going to go like that. I like that because these are more like God of War and Uncharted, where it's just like levels and story, which I like. I love open worlds, but sometimes they get boring and repetitive. So like sometimes you need a break and just turn your brain off and let the game guide you. A game where you don't do that, I don't think, is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm very curious to see what this game is about because I know it had some trouble and then now it's amazing and it's made by the same people who did Witcher and it's really long and open world. The most fascinating part of this game is the world building to me. That kind of like cyberpunk, futuristic city, like GTA in the future, like the aura of this game from the outside looking in as someone who knows nothing about it except for like Keanu Reeves is in it. Is very interesting. Like this game, like we talked about some of these games, like BioShock not grabbing me, Mass Effect not grabbing me. Cyberpunk makes me, just looking at the stuff, like looking at the picture, makes me want to play the game. And I think for that reason, do I want to play this more than The Witcher? I do. Do I want to play it more than Fallout? I think I do. I don't know. It's Fallout, New Vegas, and Cyberpunk are close. But Cyberpunk, all right. Oh man, I think I'm gonna put it in front of Fallout. Don't hate me for that one, but like Fallout New Vegas, I'm probably more excited to play. But the Fallout franchise as a whole, Fallout 4 doesn't seem as good as New Vegas to me, and I'm probably not even gonna touch 76 to be honest with you. So for that reason alone, with Cyberpunk just having one that I can focus on, I'm gonna put it in front of Fallout, and that leads us to Skyrim, a game. As someone who's not super into the video game universe, thinks is the best video game of all time. Only because that's what people like. I don't think it's the best video game of all time. But like if I'm looking into the world of like video games and like rankings, this one to me seems like everyone has it as the best video game of all time. Like everyone says that's the best video game of all time. That deserves everything. Like that is the gold standard for video games. And like I said, I could be wrong, but like if you're not in the video game world and you're looking into it, everyone points to this game saying that is the game to play. So left it last on here. I know it's like, you know, Middle-earth-esque and inspired. I think I am more excited to play Skyrim than The Witcher, but it's not going to go S tier for me. It's not going to go up here. It's going to land somewhere in here with you know what? I think I am more excited to play Skyrim than I am Cyberpunk. So does that move The Witcher down? Because I mean, this is the A list is pretty big. I don't have anything in F tier because like I said, I'm excited to play all these. So none of these deserve F tier. But man, I don't know. I think Skyrim's gonna land right in front of Cyberpunk, right after AC Black Flag. Because I am excited to play all the Assassin's Creed games. I like history. I'm very excited to dive into them. I know the Ezio trilogy is a big one. Assassin's Creed Origins, I'm also very excited for, with it being ancient Egypt. And then even Odyssey seems cool, especially with Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie coming out this summer. I bet that game sees a little spike in playtime, like on Steam and stuff, because it's set in ancient Greece. But Skyrim, I really don't know anything about it. I know it's made by Fallout people. That's all I know, and I know it's very, very good. But dude, I want to stop recording and just go play Mafia, but I got to finish Halo. And I think, yeah, after I finish Halo, Mafia will be next. So be on the lookout for that one, because I'm excited for that one. But yeah, this list just gets me excited. Let me know what games I missed, what your favorite game is, and if there's anything I should know about these games before going into them. And if you want to see me rank all the games I've personally played and finished, I'm going to do that as well. And you're going to be very thrown off by my list of video games that I've played. Spoiler alert, Arkham and Spider-Man are on there. Because those, and Red Dead, I mentioned that one because that's like my taste of stuff. Before, like, you know, I got into video games. That was kind of like my entry drug into video games, like the gateway into it. So I'm excited for that list as well. But with all that being said, subscribe to watch me play all of these games and much more. And then be on the lookout for me and my brother's channel if you want to see some good multiplayer co-op games that are give you some nostalgic vibes from you and your brother back in the day. But I'll see y'all later.